Often what we see is that a division opponent who you play 2 times a year becomes a marquee rival. Which team was that for you?
There was already a very long and storied history between the two franchises, and then things escalated, simply because of modern technology. The first thing that came up during media availability that week was the back and forth on social media. It seemed as if I had entered into the league's most talked about rivalry overnight. Yeah, I could have left it alone, but when someone runs their mouth, sometimes you need to walk the walk and talk the talk.
Tonight, from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's Week 11 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Green Bay Packers taking on the Chicago Bears.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our 2 quarterbacks, certainly 2 of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. So here are the Bears banked up to start their initial drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That's good for 28 yards.
First down, Chicago.
Well, Charles, it's always contentious division rivalry, even a little spicier than we're used to. The well-documented war of words on social media between 2 of the top players on these teams has really added a layer of intrigue.
You're absolutely right, partner, because this social media beef that kicked things off, it spilled over into the midweek press conferences. It's dominated what people have talked about around this game. For most people, they think this is ridiculous, maybe even a little childish. But let's go back to when we were younger. This was just what we called bulletin board material, and this stuff has made this game the most talked about regular season matchup I can remember. So no complaints from me. I doubt there are any complaints from you. We can't wait to see how this plays out on the field. And that's the thing to remember here. The player with the bragging rights will not be who gets the most post-game likes on social media. It's going to be whose team wins the ball game in this contest.
So as this offense gets settled in, a game like this, how important do you think it will be for both of these teams to maintain their composure?
I think that the good news is that this is a physical, emotional game. And look, if they can find a way to harness that intense energy, it could end up being beneficial for both teams. But what both of them have to realize, and especially this quarterback, the objective is still just to win the game. It's not to outshine the other guy or go at him with any more or less than is normal. Go play the game, go win the game.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 20-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they'll try to run the option here. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. And this, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
They'll run with Montgomery. And the Bears are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll run for it with Montgomery, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off.
Randy Bullock set to kick off.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Veteran Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers ready to go for drive number 1 along with the rest of this Packer offense. Will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, he'll throw. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up. Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Montgomery on the handoff. The tackle made at the 30.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. There he goes again. And finally brought down at the 38. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
A gain of 26 yards. And the Bears first down.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Bears 7, Packers nothing.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. But you talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take...
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
And his kick is good. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off.
Randy Bullock set to kick off.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 the score as they regroup with 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
Randy Bullock set to kick off.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Takes it at the 7. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Green Bay offense ready to take over. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive. Then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do. Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they will score a pick 6 for Bears touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Now Bullock to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
Randy Bullock set to kick off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. The second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown.
Randy Bullock set to kick off.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. From the 6. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Packers take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Davante Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far this game. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the 28-yard line.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
3 brings up 3rd and 2.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
10 at their own 20-yard line.
David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number.
It's a foot race. He's at the 50, 30, 10. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bears add on. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And the route is on here in this first half. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
Randy Bullock set to kick off.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Takes it at the 7. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Out comes Davante Adams in the offense for their next drive. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines.
Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
They'll take over.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Anthony Miller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And this offense is running away with this one. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
Now Bullock to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone.
Randy Bullock set to kick off.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And able to get this out to the 25.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe you go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
There's something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
2nd and 5 at the 42-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
And his throw is incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
At their own 20-yard line.
David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession. And he's closing in on that often elusive 200-yard mark.
And you know he's celebrating what's going on. He may not know exactly where he is in yardage, but he has a pretty decent idea.
Come on, he knows.
Runners always know. But he's also in that huddle telling his offensive lineman, thank you.
And give me the ball.
Keep giving me the ball. You guys keep doing what you're doing. But a great appreciation of him, of the guys up front, and of course the guys on the perimeter. Those wide receivers are giving them some great blocking too.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards, a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He's looking for Ridley again, but it's going to be second down.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
That's caught by Montgomery. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. Touchdown, Chicago! David Montgomery on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point up and good by Bullock, and a rout is on here in this first half.
Randy Bullock set to kick off.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Taken at the 15, a short kick. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
Just take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Now Aaron Rodgers in the offense heading back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. Rodgers now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken at about the 14. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, where you see the final score there. 31-13 was the final. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. 31-13 was the final. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were losers in their ball game to the visiting Dallas Cowboys. A 10-point victory in the end. 24-14, the final. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Randy Bullock set to kick off.
The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the 3rd quarter. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here's the Bears defense as they head out to set up shop now. And they have forced now 4 turnovers, Mr. Davis. How have they been so effective?
It's hard to get a read on them if you're on offense because they're coming from different angles, different formations, different looks. But bottom line is, if I'm the defensive coordinator, anything on my play sheet appears to be working right now. You point it out all the time when we call games. Once they get that first one, it becomes a frenzy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's snowballed here in this one. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
6-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
49-yard line.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Now on 2nd and 13, Rodgers, and he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. From the gun, Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Ouch, you thought you had the defensive stand. Roughing the passer wipes it out.
What does every defense talk about? 3 and out, right? Thought they were able to get off the field. Not so.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Getting a hand in there and knocking it away, Eddie Jackson. 3rd quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Rodgers' throw going to be caught by Funchess. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 29-yard line. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. They'll run on first down. Jones. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Packers, first down. 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
Here's Rodgers. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game, and on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point. kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that. But when you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
So here are the Bears to take over on offense. Trying to erase the memory of last week when they dropped one to the Minnesota Vikings. They're in the driver's seat right now with the lead. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
16 yards, a first down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown Bears. Allen Robinson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears continue to pour it on.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown and teams that look like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the end result is a Bears touchdown.
Randy Bullock set to kick off.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle. 2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Operating from the gun. Rodgers. And Brake, the tight end's got it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Rodgers now on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
7 bunches, incomplete. Coverage on the play by Kyle Fuller.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rodgers. Caught left side by Funchess. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Rodgers again now. And Adams has it complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And again, it's Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On first down, Rodgers to Valdez-Scantling over the middle. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
7 yards there at a first down.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Aaron Jones, that time. And now it's 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Back to the air on 2nd down, it's Rodgers. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Khalil Mack, that is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rodgers. This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there, really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
For the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And this one is right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Packers 6. in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
25-yard line.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 2nd down now. It's Montgomery, and he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So I'm thinking it's not going to take too long to get a reaction from this quarterback now that this one's over.
You'd certainly think so, considering how eager he was to go back and forth with trash talk ahead of the game. But then again, oftentimes the best course of action to get under your rival's skin might be just to move on. Leave it alone. Put him in the spotlight today. Now you take the spotlight away from him.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Lambeau, good night, everybody.